Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mac and Talk number 54. Today is Tuesday, January 23rd, Tuesday, January 23rd, 2024. I am Chanelle Allen, and welcome to Mac and Talk. This is a Q&A conference call for anyone with Mac questions. Whether you are just getting started or even before you're getting started and you're trying to figure out if the Mac is right for you, or maybe you've had one for a while, but need some help and encouragement getting going with VoiceOver, or you could be a longtime user of the Mac and have a question about an app or feature. For whatever reason, I am glad that you are joining us tonight or later on via the podcast. And before we get to the questions, my favorite part of the call, I'd just like to remind you how you can keep in touch with iBug Today, find out about our announcements, and I will describe some of the things that are happening this week. Our website is ibugtoday.org. There you can learn about us, who we are, what we do, donate if you wish. You can also register to become a member. Registration is completely free, and you can attend all of our events at no cost. On that page, you will also find a link for Mac and Talk, where if you go to that, you will find instructions for subscribing to the iBug Mac and Talk discussion list. It's a great place to ask Mac questions in between our events. On the web page, you will also find upcoming events. An upcoming events tab so you can see what is coming up for the rest of this month, which is not much, but I'm sure February's events will be uploaded soon. Moving on to our social media, all of our announcements are posted to Facebook, X, Instagram, all of our platforms. On Facebook, you can find us at facebook.com/groups/ibugtoday. And that is also a great place to ask questions in between our events. On X and Instagram, we are at iBugToday. And just remember, if you don't feel like getting our emails and you prefer the social media, you can definitely get our announcements on the web and on Facebook and Twitter. As far as what's coming up this week, on Thursday, we have It's iBug's Life, facilitated by advanced member George Batiste on various independent adaptive skills living topics. And this month, the topic is It's Good, talking about vegetable soup. That takes place from 7 to 9 p.m. Central. All events are on this iBug Today Zoom, which you used to get into today. On Friday, we have iBug Night at the Virtual Movies, beginning at 7:30 with a pre-movie social, which is usually some trivia, music, just some socializing, and then the movie at 8, which is, I'm blanking on the name of the movie, Beholders or something? That doesn't sound quite right, but anyway, be sure to just come. That'll be the best way to find out about what it is. And then there will be a discussion following. On Saturday, we have our iBug Apple workshop from 2 to 4 p.m. And this one is special because it's the iBug show and tell. So we get to hear about all those great devices, Apple devices at least, and accessories that go with that you got for Christmas. And that'll be fun from 2 to 4 p.m. And as far as other events, be sure to check out our website and social media. I'm sure we'll have It's iBug Unplugged coming up. We'll have the iBug Cafe. We'll have the Vila Book Club, Trekkie Talk, the Mini Buzz, the Mac Buzz, you name it, we have it. So be sure to stay tuned for all those announcements. All right, so now we're going to go around the virtual room and say who we are, where we're calling from. Excuse me, and let us know if you're joining for the first time. I'm Chanelle, and well, I've been here since Mac and Talk number 1, and I live in Houston.
This is Herbie. I've been here since Mac and Talk number one. I also live in Houston, and when I started with this thing, I didn't even have a Mac.
No, you didn't. Thank you. Welcome.
This is Pete. I'm from Florida, and the movie this Friday is The Movables, which is
Oh,
up for one or two Oscars, I think.
okay. I butchered
Yeah.
that. Thanks for the
No,
correction.
that's okay.
Hi, this is Davita from Northern Virginia.
Welcome.
Judy
This
from
is
Connecticut.
Kim
Okay,
From
Judy and Kim. Judy from
Oops.
Connecticut and Kim, welcome.
Indiana.
Indiana, all right.
Ray from
Desi
Maine.
from oh
Hey,
sorry.
Ray.
Desi from Franklin, Tennessee.
Hello, Desi.
Hi.
This is
Mary Ellen Earls from
And
Scottsdale, Arizona.
Welcome, Mary Ellen.
Tedros Marcos from Chicago.
Oh,
This is, yeah,
welcome.
I'm joining for the first time. It came to
Oh,
my
we're
attention through a friend of mine.
we're happy to have you. Do you have a Mac?
I do have a, what do you call it? It's a 13-inch Mac,
Okay, MacBook Air.
MacBook Air, yes, the
Okay,
M1 version. So, but
great.
I haven't been using it a lot. I'm
Ah,
trying, I'm not necessarily transitioning, but I really want to make good use of it.
okay. Well, you'll have an opportunity to ask questions, and you can, if we will try to get to you right away if you have a question. So,
I do a
welcome. We're
lot.
glad you're
Thank you.
here.
Thank you.
Hello,
Misty
everybody.
Hagan from Wharton, New Jersey.
Hi, Misty. Glad to have you back again.
Hi, this is Diane from California.
And hello, Diane.
Hi.
And this is Dan from Southern California.
Hi, Dan. Welcome.
Sri from Virginia.
Hi, Shri.
This is Darcy from Ontario, Canada.
Hi, Darcy. Glad to have you back.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Yeah.
And this is Brian from Ontario, Canada also.
Brian,
Ah,
yay. Welcome.
international.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. All right. And I think I see a couple other people who haven't said hi, but you're welcome to at any time. Now let's go ahead and get started with questions. So, who wants to ask our first question for the gentleman that's new? Tedros, did you have a question that you wanted to ask right now?
Oh, I have a lot.
Okay. Well, I think you're our newest member, so you're welcome to ask first if you want.
Yeah, okay.
Hmm.
One thing I really find frustrating when navigating when I'm in different applications is going, jumping to the toolbar. Is there a quick way to jump to the toolbar?
All right. Who can help him out getting to the toolbar?
This is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
VOJ is your friend.
Oh, VOJ. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
thank you.
great one. You're welcome.
Um, Also, what's the difference between flat navigation and group navigation, or when to use either way best?
I think, and somebody can correct me if I think that's more for iPhone.
That's what I
Um,
was gonna say. Yeah, that's we don't
yeah.
have that on the Mac.
I don't think we have that on the Mac.
You can do it. This is Darcy. You can turn off the navigation level, like so you don't have to interact, which is I think what he's talking about.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Yeah. Okay.
Um, the thing, this is a really, I think, a thing that really people switching to the Mac or trying the Mac have takes them to get used to because the way it works by default is when you're navigating something with voiceover, you kind of get like an overview of the thing. So you might see like there's a table or a toolbar or something, and then you interact to see the controls of that. And at first that seems like it might be cumbersome, but the strength of that is if you're looking at an app that is really complicated, like something like GarageBand that has a lot of different controls, it would be really difficult to, if you were looking at every single one.
It
So
saves time.
yeah, and but
Yeah.
you can turn it off, and I think that's even a situation you can set, through like activities and stuff. You can have different apps use different navigation levels. I don't. I just leave it on the interaction thing. But everybody has
Yeah.
different opinions there.
Yeah. Great. And just so we do allow people to be unmuted, but if you by chance have background noise, it would really help if you could stay muted until you are actually ready to participate. So, yeah, hopefully that helps you out a little bit. You might just want it, like Darcy said, leave it at, well, you can do what you want, but leaving it at oh dear, standard actually has its advantages. So,
Oh,
um,
okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
This is Pete.
And
Yes, Pete?
Yes.
I just wanted to say, when I was earlier on several years ago, when I was first learning the Mac, it really helped me when I first saw a list, and I don't think it was a complete or comprehensive list, a list of items that when I encountered them, it was a trigger to interact. And once you know where you have to interact on a particular application or website or something like that, it makes that whole prospect a little less daunting. So I remember the list, and it was things like grid areas and um, lists and if we could compile a list of where you would automatically interact if you wanted to delve down, dig down into them, it might make it a little more inviting, I guess. So I don't know
Yeah.
where we might find a list like that.
I think sometimes it's a really dependent on, I mean, yes, in like in hard and fast, it seems like you definitely have to interact in scroll areas,
Right.
definitely in groups, but there are like lists you don't always have to.
Mm.
It's really depends on how well they're implemented in the app, I think, from
This is Herbie.
yeah, go ahead, Herbie.
One thing that I will say is though that with the non-interacting thing, you run into a danger ran into a situation where I was helping somebody with loopback once, and there was something we could not figure out, and it turns out they turned off the interaction, and we couldn't get to the area that was needed until we re-enabled the ability to interact, and yeah, then so it you do take a risk if you disable that feature.
Yeah, I think Pete though was asking where are areas where you definitely have to interact, and I think it used to be a lot more, when the Mac first and VoiceOver, it seemed like you had to interact in more areas. I think if you, there are some, it seems like more areas now where
So
you can get
this is
away
Herbie.
without interacting. Go ahead, Herbie.
Scroll areas. A good example I can think of where I would have
Yeah.
to interact is, I mean, you can use the item chooser to work around this, but like in Zoom, if you go through the preferences or the settings now is what it's called, you've got that scroll area after the different categories, so you have to interact with that. So, that would be an example that I can think of.
And pressing tab, there's an option in VoiceOver. Pressing the tab key will generally interact you. Sometimes it's not always a good idea to use tab because it doesn't let you read everything like surrounding to the left and right of an area. But if you're just wanting to move through quickly, using the tab key will automatically interact you, like when you want to put your name in a form or fill out other form
Right.
fields.
this is Kim.
Okay, let's make sure. Yeah, well, go ahead, Kim.
Yeah, well, if he done, the reason I'm interrupting is with my question, I just want to write the directions on how to get down to what I need.
Okay, so hopefully that helped you a little bit, Tedros, but we can definitely come back to it later, or if you have any other questions, um, hopefully that gave you an idea. It's probably a bit more than you bargained for there in that answer, but yeah.
And interacting is not all that hard. I like to use what is it called? I turn on quick nav. And when you do that, all you need is down and right arrow to interact and down and left arrow to close, not interact. So
Right, that's definitely one way of doing it. All right, Kim, we'll go ahead and go to your question.
I'm needing to know where to go to find the updates to my computer. I know there's a million updates. I'm on Big Sur. So you said before, it's in system preferences?
Right.
Right?
Does anyone
Okay.
want to help Kim out with that?
Yeah, this is Tedros. I think I know the answer to this.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Okay.
I think what I usually do is just correct me if I'm wrong, but what I usually do is I press VOM just to go to the Apple menu bar, and then I down arrow to find the system settings. They
Yeah,
changed
system
they changed it.
preferences.
Yes, they changed the preferences to system settings. I think it's more or less the same as the iPhone is now. So
She's still in Big Sur, so it would be preferences.
Yeah, I'm
oh,
doing Big
oh,
Sur.
Right.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Okay,
So
okay.
it's system preferences I get, but then where do I go after that?
Oh, all right. I forgot about that. So I'm at the latest version, so someone else can help.
This
Yeah.
is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
The same answer I gave actually to Tedro a little bit ago. VOJ is your friend. It'll jump you between the two panes once you get to system preferences.
Well, what is she looking for in, remember,
Um,
this is in system preferences.
Updates. Let's see.
Yeah, it should be software update. I can't remember if they changed the
Right,
language
but
in
you
Big
can
Sur.
get to that with the context menu method the quickest. Instead of going to
Yes,
general and then software.
you can. So when you're in your dock, if your system settings is in your dock or system preferences, an easy way of going is going to your dock, finding system preferences or system settings, whatever your case may be, and then VO Shift M. That's caps lock Shift M or Control Option Shift M.
Right.
And then in that menu, you can either down arrow or you can press SOF to get to software update and then press enter.
Okay.
And
Shift. Hold on. VO Shift M.
it's not going to work if system preferences is already open. So you'll want to,
Okay.
close your system preferences first and then
Okay.
go back to the dock.
Mm. Wait. Something I'm not getting here. I think we jump around too much.
I know.
System preferences. I know how to get to that.
Yeah, it's
And
in
then
your dock.
once I enter in there,
Well, what you want to do is instead of pressing enter, it's VO Shift M.
okay, I've got that written down. Okay. VO Shift M.
Yeah. And then you're going to find software update.
Software updates. Okay.
This is Herbie.
Yeah, go ahead, Herbie.
I
Okay.
think Davita is also new when we're done with Kim, so just
Oh, okay.
What did he say?
He was just letting me know about somebody else that's new, but
Oh, okay.
This is
So then
Shree.
I just system updates and look for the one that I want.
right.
software update.
Software update.
Yeah, software updates. Okay. And then jumped up and down arrow, select that one.
This is
Right.
Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
You're gonna enter. So when you get to software updates, I don't remember. It's a little different with Big Sur, but it may interact you, or you have to look for that scroll area and interact, and then use your VO left and VO right.
Yeah.
Also, and I hope I'm not out of line by suggesting this, Chanelle, but as a former student, this is definitely something we did cover in our Mac class.
Yeah.
And I would.
My notes on that were so bad. That's why I'm calling. Yeah. Okay.
If
I
you have the
understand.
recordings, yeah, I understand that. I was going to say if you have the recordings, then that would also help you because Chanel will take you through a live navigation thing, and it'll be very. Even if it wasn't exact, I don't remember when you joined if we were on Big Sur or not, but it'll be the same as it'll be the same no matter what because it was only more recently they made changes. So
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
She can get
I
that.
want to
Okay.
get back to Shri.
I'm sorry, I just had a
Okay.
question.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
So we talked about VOJ, but is there a keyboard command that actually takes you to the toolbar itself directly?
Sometimes that can be VOJ, because the VOJ takes you from one interactable element to another, basically, or one
Hmm.
interactable area, from what I understand of it. But no, there's no command that's just specifically to go to a toolbar. You can hide and show the toolbar, um, but there's no command to, let's say, go directly to the toolbar, but VOJ would take you there if there's anything that's going to take you there, that would
This
be
is
it.
Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
The closest equivalent I can think of, and I wouldn't rely on it, would be VO Home. That might get you to the toolbar, but
Right.
Right,
It would
right.
get you to that area, but it's
yes.
still not a direct command. I think what he
No,
was looking for
it's
is a
not. It's not. I'm just
direct,
saying it's the closest thing I can think
It's
of.
to the top of
very,
the screen.
yeah,
Right.
top of the
So
screen.
does the VO home take you to the menu
Top of the
bar on top?
screen.
No,
It
it doesn't take you to the menu bar. It takes you to the
Close button.
area.
The first element of
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
the window, which is
Yep.
more often than not the toolbar, but not
Yep.
always. More often than not, that is
yeah.
though.
Could be the
yeah,
close or the yeah. And
Yeah,
then interact with the toolbar.
yep.
but
But
it
the
going to
nice
the
thing,
top. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the nice thing about VOJ is it takes care of the interacting for you, whereas the VO Home method would not. So I think I personally would rely on VOJ. But go ahead, Darcy.
Well, I was just going to say that, like, chances are, even if it doesn't take you to even if hitting VO home doesn't take you to the toolbar, you probably won't be far from the toolbar because it'll probably be near the top if it's not the first item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. So, and I also wanted to get back to, I'm sorry, Davida, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but are you new? Is this your first time joining us?
I'm
And if,
sorry, I had to unmute myself. It's my first time joining the Mac group. It's not my first time for iBug.
okay.
But I don't have a Mac. And I am just in the process of gathering information, trying to get myself familiar with the jargon, and I anticipate that I'm moving with choice encouragement, actually maybe moving in the direction of getting a Mac.
Okay.
So I think iBug is going to be a very valuable resource, and I cannot thank you guys enough, all of you, for what you do, because it's incredible.
Definitely. Well, if you have a question, let us know, and it would help if you could get a little bit closer to your mic if that's possible so that we can hear you better. But yeah, we're happy to help.
Oh,
And
okay.
if there's any
I'm
question,
on earbuds. I don't know. Does that make a difference if I'm closer to my phone? I don't know. Can you hear
no,
me
you're
better?
kind of farther away.
Okay. All
That's
right.
better. There we go. That's better.
Oh, now I just lost you.
No,
Huh.
oh, we hear you.
Okay, wait a second. Hang on a second. All right, is that better?
Yeah, we heard you were coming through really clear.
Okay, good. All right, well, thank you very much. So I'll just
Yep.
continue to mute and listen and see what I can learn.
Yep,
This is
and don't
Pete.
hesitate to ask questions. Yeah, go ahead, Pete.
I just wanted to put in a plug for the archived recordings of Chanelle's Mac training class, which are on YouTube. So if any of you have YouTube, access to YouTube on your Mac or your PC or on your iPhone, if you go to the iBug YouTube channel, which would be iBug Today is the name of the channel, and then go to the Mac training class, you'll find the archived recordings of whatever the last class was, which was what, a 12-week
Yep.
12-week series, and you can start pretty much in order. Start with introduction to voiceover. You'll see some of the early lessons, the introductory lessons, and those are really excellent to get started with.
All
That
right,
way you
so
can listen at your leisure.
you
And we're
prompted two questions for me.
uh-huh.
One, I didn't realize that there is a series of classes that run for X amount of time, how would one find that out? And if I'm on the website, is the listing of the trainings different than what's on YouTube?
No, the website has the topics, but I don't think the website actually shows the videos. So the website has actually recordings of the previous Mac and Talk sessions, but it doesn't have the actual lessons from the Mac training class. Those are on YouTube, like Pete said. We are getting ready to offer another 12-week Mac class, like a live class where the sessions are on Zoom. But we do recommend, like Pete said, if you want to get an idea of what the class is about, definitely check it out on YouTube.
Okay, great. Okay, perfect. Okay,
It's the
thanks.
Thanks,
iBug Today
Diane.
channel, like he said.
And then just look for, within that, just look for the Mac series,
Mac training, I think. Mac
Mac
training
training.
course.
Okay,
Yeah.
This is
okay,
Diane.
great.
Yes, Diane.
Hi. I just want to echo my thanks to you guys too. And yes, I did check my class notes and I found how to search for a particular location within a document using the command command. No, what is it? I know what it
Command
is. I'm sorry.
F.
Yes, Command F for find.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. Um, so I'm in a document. It's a Word document. I'm trying to jump. I'm at the beginning of the document. I want to jump ahead to chapter 8. So I do
Ah.
the Command F and I enter chapter 8 and then I hit return and it says I've got one option. I think I'm making an error at this point or my notes are not clear. I'm trying to read from that point on, and I've tried all kinds of things. I've tried Command A, Command B. I've tried my trackpad with the swipe down, and it always jumps back to the beginning of the document in chapter 1. And so I'm doing something wrong, and I was really just
I'm
hoping you could help me.
Yeah, okay. I think the find commands in Word, so in text edit, Command F and all that works great, no problem. I think in Word you might want to try Control F if you're not having as much luck with Command F, because I think that will bring up so what I would do is, you do your I wish I could remember I don't remember what the exact find command in Word is. And I don't know why Command F isn't working for you, but I would.
Well, I have been able to get to the jump to the chapter. If I put chapter 8, hit return, and for some weird reason, it's voiceover shift space bar will
Mhm.
take me there. But I think I may be selecting like chapter 1 through 8 when I'm doing that. I'm not sure. But then trying to read from that point on, I can't get it to read. It just, when I try to get it to read, it just jumps back up to chapter 1.
So you
Wouldn't
might
that be
need to
VO
interact with it for.
A?
Oh, go ahead. Was I hearing Pete?
I'm sorry. Yeah, this is Pete. I was wondering if VO8 would be the command to read all. Once she got her spot in the document, she wants to read from there to the end, right, Sarah?
Yeah,
Yeah, but when
VOA
I
would
do
work.
VOA, it'll still start at chapter 1. And I
Uh,
think because I may be selecting, when I use the VO shift down, I think it's selecting chapter 1 through 8. And so when I go to read it, it like jumps back. So I think, I don't know,
Well,
to
VO
actually
shift
go.
down should interact.
Sorry, what was that?
VO shift down arrow should interact.
Right, that's what I
And
thought.
that's kind of what you might
So
but
it'll get me there, and then I down and up arrow, and I confirm that I'm actually at chapter 8, but I can't get it to read from there, and that's where I'm frustrated.
oh, you can't actually get it
And I have to read this woman's novel so I can interview her on a podcast.
right. Um, have you thought of just, so it's a Word document, have you thought of just trying to open it and text edit and seeing if that'll, do any better? I mean, do you have to actually mark up her document
No, no, no. I just need to
for the
read it and I can
okay.
take notes.
This is Shrey.
So, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Shri.
I just got my curiosity here. So you said that when you got to chapter 8 and then you arrow down, you can read the first letter of chapter 8.
Oh, it'll read it like, line by line if I arrow down, but I want it to just do a continuous read, like you do on the iPhone when you swipe down with two fingers. And I tried doing that with my trackpad, and for some reason, 1 out of 10 tries it works. And I don't, so I'm so confused. It's not consistent, and I don't know how to read from the middle of a document onward. So if I were in text edit, say, if I were able to import it into text edit, how would I read from that point onward? Oops, hello? Oh,
This is
dang
Shrey.
it. Oh, shoot,
No,
I'm
you got
sorry. I
it.
thought my phone died.
Good you didn't use other language.
Hey, Judy, you're the host.
Yeah, the real
Did you try VOA, Sarah? Once you set your insertion point at chapter 8, did you try VOA and it did not read
I
from there
did,
on?
and it would go up to chapter 1, and it would read like the entire document.
I'm mistaken on that one. Sorry.
And then a friend told me to do BOB works for her, which I thought was very strange, but that it doesn't do a thing for me.
I think all these are going to work much better on the text edit because I know it does work. Like if you did VOA, it's going to read from like Pete was saying where the cursor is.
Okay, that's what some university website said too. I mean, I've been looking all over for solution, and I'm going to have to say no to doing the interview if I can't. You guys are my last hope.
Yeah, I would say if you can just select all and just bring it over, just save it as a text file.
Oh, good plan. Good plan.
So
I should do that in text edit versus pages, or?
Yeah, I would. I mean, you could do it in both.
I'm not sure how to get to text edit. Is it in my?
It's in the application. If you go to your Finder.
Oh, go to Finder, text edit. Okay.
Yeah, if you go to Finder, then application in Finder.
Yeah.
Okay, Finder application, text edit. Got it. Thank you. Oh my gosh.
All right, this is Kirby, ladies and gentlemen. Just a brief apology. We lost internet. Chanelle is working on coming back on here, but I will go ahead and keep things going in the meantime while she's working on that.
So, Herbie, I have a question.
I have an answer, I hope.
Is there on the Mac, is there a way to set autosave?
The answer is yes, and I don't know how I did it because I figured out somehow accidentally how to get a text edit document to automatically save. So
maybe this is Shree. I'm actually trying to figure out, maybe Pete can help me with this too. Is there an autosave for Amadeus Pro?
Not that I've encountered. I haven't really researched it. No.
But there is an autosave for like text edit pages and so forth?
There might be for text edit. I personally am not a big fan of things like autosave anyway. But I think there is an autosave in text edit. With Amadeus Pro, no.
No. And does Time Machine will only save it in Time Machine if the file was actually saved?
Does anybody else use Time Machine and want to weigh in on that one? I'm thinking with Time Machine, it's meant to just back up your computer. It's not meant to do anything else. So I don't think it's going to recover anything that you didn't already save.
Right. And I know going back into your menus, like in your file menu, you can go to recent items. You're not going to find them if they're not saved, if you've deleted them.
Yeah.
Named.
But it's really funny you ask that because I had a situation this morning where I completely lost audio with my Mac and I was recording something with Amadeus Pro and all I could do was shut down the computer and restart it. And of course, I lost everything that I was doing in Amadeus. So
I've had that problem too.
Really?
Really? Can I ask one more Amadeus Pro question?
Of course.
So
okay. So did we ever get back to finishing Diane's question?
We did.
Yeah, we did finish that. Yes.
Okay. All right. Just making sure. Go ahead, Amadeus Pro question.
So one thing I've noticed is when I'm working on a project and I can't tell if it's the computer goes to sleep or something, like my session dies, then I cannot go and record any additional thing into that track. Everything I record is just like dead air.
Sounds like you're on a test trial.
No, but if I open up a new track, it works fine. It's like I could leave it running for 8 hours, and then when my screensaver comes back on, and I wake my computer back up, the track can't. I can listen to it. I just can't record anything on it anymore.
It'll record the whole 8 hours, though?
It's whatever I recorded. It's when my computer goes to sleep, and I come back, and I don't know if it's my mixer that's causing it, but whatever I try to record on that track is just recording dead air.
So have you reached out to Parasoft on that issue?
No.
Because it could be a flaw within the program itself that, it could be a flaw within the program itself that you could ask them about. And it could be that. I mean, I guess the only thing you could do is try recording something that doesn't involve the mixer. But does the mixer come back online when the screensaver restarts?
Well, the mixer, it's going to stay on till it times out. But I do have to, like, this is like if I leave it overnight or something and I come back and I work on it, and I just noticed that track that I was editing on, I cannot record anything on it.
So you're not actively recording during that time frame? You just leave it open?
Yeah, I just leave it open, lazy.
Without saving it?
Without saving it. That's why I was asking about the autosave.
Right. I'm sure I've done that, and I've not had that problem, so wish I could help.
All right, well, thank you.
Just get into the habit of naming it, do a save as, and give it a temporary name at least.
This is Tedros again.
Yes. Go ahead.
My next question is, how do I ask VoiceOver to tell me the shortcut of a control? So if I'm using JAWS, I press Alt Numpad 5, and it tells me what the keystroke is. So what's the corresponding keystroke for VoiceOver?
VoiceOver should tell you as you're arrowing through a menu.
This is
and
Shree.
if you, go ahead, Shree.
No, go ahead, finish what you're saying.
VoiceOver should tell you as you're arrowing through a menu, but if you don't hear it, sometimes I'll do like VO up arrow to hear the line again, or but yeah, maybe go ahead, Shree.
No, I think I might have misunderstood his question. He's asking for it to repeat, or what VoiceOver key command it is.
Yeah, like what VoiceOver is there what is the keyword command associated with a menu item? So like in file, it should say new command N, and it should say that type of thing automatically. Are we getting at what you want?
Let's say I'm not on the menu bar. Let's say I'm in the toolbar. So if it says open or save, and then I want to know what the corresponding keystroke is.
It's usually
the best way to learn the key. Well, no, the best way to learn. Well, yeah, that's the way to activate it. But the best way to learn those shortcuts is honestly to go into the menu bar. The toolbar doesn't really, because the menu bar is where VoiceOver will say what the associated shortcut is. We don't have a feature like JAWS where it would do that. I forgot about with JAWS. You can do whatever, control and numpad 5.
Alt numpad 5, yes.
Alt numpad 5. Okay. Yeah, we don't have that with VoiceOver except in the menus. So all the toolbar items like the menu bar contains all the toolbar items. There's really nothing special about the toolbars. Well, I guess it depends. Maybe for third-party apps, some third-party apps don't really heavily use the menu bar, but most Mac apps and even most third-party apps are going to use the menu bar. So you're going to find all of your key shortcuts in the menus. Another way to look for them too is just to go into the help for an app and then, try to look for search keyboard shortcuts. And the Mac help has good documentation on common keyboard shortcuts and apps. There's an Apple tech support article about keyboard shortcuts, but I don't know. You're probably wanting to.
This is Shrey.
Sounds like we lost
We lost.
Chanelle again.
What about using like VOK? Would that help?
I think it activates the VoiceOver keyboard tutorial.
That will only give you VoiceOver keyboard commands. It doesn't tell you, like if you press Command S, for instance, it's not going to say save. It's only going to give you VoiceOver keyboard commands. But otherwise, yeah, that's a great idea.
Thank you. Just one. Oh, go ahead, Pete.
I was just going to.
Oh, sorry.
I was just going to clarify what. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was going to clarify what Chanelle was referring to with the menu, Tedros. If you do your VOM, then you'll be on your menu bar, and your first menu is your files menu. So if you wanted to know what the keystroke command is to save a file, you'll hear, you go down the menu with your arrow, and you'll hear save or save as. Like if you're creating a document and you're saving it for the first time, it will say save as Command Shift S, and all the other commands are followed by the equivalent keystroke shortcut. So it's a good way to get familiar with them. And then if you right arrow, you'll go through all the other menus like edit and actions and things along those lines.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry, Herbie was talking to his. Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Oh, thank you all for those helpful tips. Yeah, that's what I usually do. I go to the menu bar, but I was just wondering whether there is a quicker way of invoking.
Once you hear what those commands are in the menu bar, you'll get to learn what they are, and then you won't have to go to the menu. And I think Desi wanted to say something.
Yeah, it wasn't related to this though. So.
Oh, okay.
This is Shree.
Yes, Shree.
Can I just ask a follow-up question on this? So, when we go to the menu bar and we hear these shortcuts, sometimes I can't quite make it out. Is there a way to have it go word by word during those menus?
Well, what I would do is I would do VO. There might be other ways of doing this. I don't know a way to go word by word, but what I would do is copy what it says by using VO Shift C. That copies the last spoken content, to the clipboard, and then you can paste it into TextEdit and see exactly what it said.
Okay, great idea. Sometimes I just can't. It's going so fast I can't tell. What all combination keys. All right, thank you. VO Shift C.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you.
VO Shift C. Yep. Okay, Desi, I think.
Yes, and I'm going to have to go real shortly. So, maybe I won't be able to get the answer to this question, but I went into the Zoom app because I wanted to shut off some alerts. And I went to the menu, went to settings, went to accessibility. I interacted, I did all kinds of things. I could not figure out how to make the settings take effect. Because I got to accessibility and I selected it, but then when I interacted with it, that didn't help me. I didn't have any luck when I tried to do VO space or enter, so I wasn't sure what I was doing wrong.
Can anyone help Desi? I'm sorry, my internet cut out as she was talking about what was going on. So, um, I'm so sorry.
This is
Things are
Pete.
not. Yeah, go ahead, Pete.
I'm just curious, Desi, what type of a setting? Maybe that'll help me pinpoint
Well,
where you
it was
are.
it was alerts. It was in accessibility, and I wanted to
Oh,
shut off some alerts, and I could not get it to work for me. I
Hmm.
went into settings through the menu, and then I found accessibility, and I interacted and everything, but I couldn't figure out a way to actually execute what I
So you,
wanted.
did you think you changed the setting, but you just couldn't
No.
save it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't even think I changed it.
Oh,
I couldn't even get to those alerts. I got to accessibility, and that seemed to be as far as I could get.
so there's a table in there. So once you find accessibility, you uninteract it, and then you view right, and you'll want to interact in the scroll area. And
Right.
then there'll be another table inside of that scroll area that you'll have to interact in. So
Okay.
you'll find that table, and that's where it lists all those darn alerts.
Okay. Well, I thought that's what I did, but I'll go back in there
Okay.
and try it again.
Oh, I'm
Thanks.
sorry.
That's
Okay.
okay. All right.
Well,
Thanks
give me
very
a
much.
call sometime or let me know if that doesn't
Okay.
work.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Chanelle. I appreciate it. And yeah, I gotta run because I got to host. So
Okay.
thanks, everybody.
All right. Thanks.
All right.
This
This is Ray.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Ray.
Can I ask a Dropbox question?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. All right. How do I allow another person to access my Dropbox files?
All right. Well, this is kind of going, so what you'll have to do is basically give somebody access to a particular folder or file. That's what you do with Dropbox.
How do I do that?
Well, if you do you have Dropbox set up on your Mac?
Yes.
Okay, so you'll want to find the file in your Dropbox, and then you'll want to do your context menu, VO
Okay.
Shift M, and then you'll want to do
share.
Yeah, I guess share, or I'm
Yeah.
not sure if it's view on Dropbox.com first, and then it's I don't
I find it easier to do on the phone, to be honest.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. If you're
That's
sharing,
true.
if you're already got your Dropbox carried over to your phone, Ray, then it's quite easy there.
Okay, tell me how.
Well, on the phone, I can tell you, and this is a Mac session, but on the phone, if you go to the file or the folder that you want to share, now it would also depend on whether you want the person that you're sharing with to have the authority to
No,
just to share so they can listen to the audio or read the audio, the text file. Yeah, there's an other actions menu option when you open the file, and in that you'll find a share option. And if you double tap on your phone on share, then you can type in the method that you want to share with your other person, either through the messages app and put their phone number in, like you're sending a text, or you can share it via mail. And then you just actually, in essence, send a link to the file to that other person, and then all they do is tap on the link and they have access. They have the file there. It's
Okay.
like a
Yeah, and
standard share sheet that you find in iOS, if that rings a bell.
Excuse me?
yeah, okay. I was just trying to think about what Pete was talking. Yeah, it's like once you bring that up, as he was saying, it'll give you all these different options for sharing. But on the Mac, if you're just wanting to share a link, all you'd have to do is VO Shift M on the file and go to copy link. Yeah, go ahead,
There's also
Sri.
a share sheet in the Mac, by the way, Chanelle. Sorry.
Yeah, there is, but Dropbox. I was thinking he wanted to actually share like for somebody to be able to view all the files in a folder, and that's a little bit different. But go ahead, Shri.
No, I was just, I just went in my Dropbox and I just went to kind of what you said with the context menu and went to sharing. I selected a file when I said sharing, then it asked me who do I want to share it with, and it just gave me individuals to pick from. So I'm guessing, if it then I'm sure it's just step by step, picking the individual and then sending the share information out.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if you get to the share part, then you get to a point where it'll ask you to put the name of the person.
Yeah, so
Just
I
put
did a
that
VO
person's
space
name.
on sharing on the context menu,
Okay.
and then it brought up the
Yeah.
individual names that I wanted to share the file to.
It brings up the names. It'll
Yes.
bring up all my contacts.
It brought up contacts on mine, like asking me like who do I want to share it with, and it just started giving me a list of names. I didn't go through the whole process. I just wanted to see what it brought up, and it brought up the contact individuals.
Okay, I'll try that. Thanks.
This Diane, I think.
Yes, Diane.
Making a list of your contacts. I think it just kind of lists the most recent contacts that you've communicated with.
Right.
If you keep cycling through that, then it'll eventually say message, email, whatever, and then you can say email, and then you select whatever the person is, and
Just
if you type in B,
email.
and it'll, and then you'll list everybody's name starting with B. That kind of thing.
I think though it's kind of confusing on the Mac. You have regular share, but then you also have Dropbox sharing. I mean, if like it's in an individual file I want people, I'll just send them a link. So I'll go to copy link or copy Dropbox. But if it's a file that I want them to be able to, a folder that I want them to have access to several files, then I'll go through that more elaborate share process. I'm sorry, go ahead, Diane.
That's all. That's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Tedros here again.
Yes.
I do have two questions.
Sure.
So I'm doing video conversion using Handbrake, a lot of videos.
Oh,
and one thing I really find frustrating is changing from one page to the other because I have to do a lot of arrowing. Is there a quick way of changing? So this is like the interface has multiple control tabs or multiple pages.
Right.
Dimension, videos, audios, subtitles, and what have you, all these different things. So is there a quick way of changing from one page to the other?
I am not very familiar with that app. I played with it a long time ago because I was trying to convert some DVDs.
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
Would it be possible, like, I'll go into the other room, but does the trackpad let you do like the page gesture like you can do on the iPhone with the 3-finger swipe?
Oh, I didn't try that.
That's what I probably would try. I mean, I don't know if it'll work or not, but it's something to try.
This is Pete.
Yeah. Yes.
Would command accent work, like you're toggling between windows from page to page? The command and then the button above the tab bar, I think, is the accent key or the grav key.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might work.
Yeah, I didn't try that too.
It's like toggling among open programs. If you do the one above the tab key, it will toggle. I know, like in Amadeus Pro and Audio Editor, if you have multiple documents open, the command accent will toggle among those, cycle around through those. So I don't know if pages would be the same in your.
This is Tedros again. These control tabs are more or less the same as the one in VoiceOver settings. So there are different tabs there for speech, for all those different settings. So
try command accent.
Okay.
Yeah, or try Control Tab even. Control Tab, I've seen that work. That will work in to move between different tabs on the Mac. So try either of those.
Oh yeah, that's what I use on Windows actually.
Yeah, it does work in some areas on the Mac.
Okay. My last question is, can anyone explain to me what containers are in navigation?
This is Herbie.
Yes,
Go
Herbie.
ahead.
So containers are different areas of the screen. You deal with this a lot with the iPad, where, for instance, in Mail, you'll have two areas of the screen where you have like your controls, like in the list of messages, and then another area where the actual message. And so it's just in a situation where you've got multiple quadrants of a screen with something different in each quadrant.
Oh, okay.
So this is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
I was asking. So I was just curious because I was having to do other stuff. Did somebody had a question about Dropbox and stuff previously? Did that get answered, or is there still?
Did I get mute? No.
Yes.
We can hear you.
Okay, I keep pressing all these extraneous buttons on my iPhone. Anyway, yeah, they wanted to know how to share a file, the easiest. I mean, because there's copy the Dropbox link, but it depends on whether you want to just give somebody a link to something that they can download, or whether you want to give them like so they can see the folder contents
and
or whatever.
Ray said he just wanted to share it so somebody could read the document or listen to the audio file.
So you want to share the folder, but not because you can copy and paste a file elsewhere without having to do the share thing.
His question was giving somebody access to his Dropbox files, but that can mean a lot of things. So
that would mean that's where I would share the folder and I would generate a Dropbox link. I mean, it's easiest if they have Dropbox. The thing to be careful of, and this has gotten me into trouble, is there's two share options in the context menu.
Yeah, that's what I was confused about.
Yes, there are two. The first one is like the max internal share, and that doesn't do nothing. You want the second share within that context menu. And that's the Dropbox share method. And so that'll bring up like where it'll let you share a folder or whatever. But otherwise, yeah, you want to, if you're trying to just create a link to let somebody view your contents, then you just go down to copy Dropbox link. You have to go down a ways. I don't know of any shortcuts, and I've tried. And then when you paste the link into the email, you can either leave it as a 0 or make it a little bit easier at the 0 at the end, then change it to a 1. And that'll make it so that it's downloadable if they want.
That's what I always do. Yeah.
This is Shri.
Yep.
Yes, Shri.
So when you said sharing, because when I looked at that, is there two sharing options,
yes.
or is it? Okay, where's the second one located? Is it way down at the bottom?
Just keep going down past the first share. In the context menu. Just keep going down, and you're going to see two share options. And just ignore the first one. The second one will say
sharing to Dropbox or something.
It'll say like share ellipsis or something like that, but it'll sound a little different than the first share. But that's the one you want. That'll bring up the actual Dropbox menu for how it shares stuff.
All right, thanks.
Share sheet. Well, it's not a share. It's not the Apple share sheet. It's the Dropbox share sheet. So if you were using Windows, you would get the same options, like to send an like to share the folder with an email or whatever. So it's the Dropbox share sheet, not an Apple share sheet, if that makes sense.
All right. Thank you.
Just a quick question. Sorry, Tedros here.
Yes, go ahead.
This is not a Mac question, but to Herbie and Pete, I'm just wondering what mic you're using. So Herbie, I was getting stereo audio earlier.
I am now on my AirPods. Our internet died, and I don't really feel like hooking my computer up to the phone and using the slow internet. I've heard there's a way to jailbreak that so I can get better internet speeds, but I know it's something I have to do in the terminal. So I'm now using my phone and the AirPods Maxes.
But he was using a Blue Yeti.
Yep, I was using a Blue Yeti earlier.
Which does have a stereo, right? It's a stereo mic? Yeah.
Yep,
I hear
that's
that
a stereo
on
mic.
every Zoom call. I hear that stereo very, very Very nice.
Yep.
I'm using a Shure SM7B. I don't know if it's a stereo mic. It might be, but it's a second level Shure microphone, about a $400 microphone.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, not your $50, $60 job.
And
Does
wait,
it
I'm
sound okay? Sorry.
Yeah, it does.
This is Shree.
Go ahead, Shree.
I'm sorry. I just went into Dropbox. Unfortunately, VoiceOver is saying the same verbal command for both sharing. But I did see the other one.
You get different
All right.
options.
No, it just, well, I didn't open it. It just said, I was just trying to read the menus, like to distinguish what it is. They basically just said sharing, and you can via spacebar to open it and close it. But the verbiage is the same.
Well, this is Tedros, and thank you very much for organizing this wonderful training. I never had such an opportunity, and I really look forward to joining you in the future.
Yeah, keep coming back. We'd love to have you. Thank you.
Sign up for her class if you want to take a 12-week class every Tuesday night. Well, I don't know what it is anymore, but
yeah, it is till Tuesday nights. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I think Tuesday works for me. I think. Yeah. On Wednesdays, I have a class.
Sign up on the website. It's well worth the time.
Right. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Uh-huh. All right. We're not hearing you, Herbie.
Let's try that.
Yeah, there we go.
I just want to remind everybody too, also the first and third Tuesday of the month, we have the Mac Mini Buzz, or Mac Buzz rather, from 5 to 6 Central Time right here on this very same Zoom account. So in addition to Mac and Talk, that's also another avenue you have for your Mac questions. And sometimes I will do some demos as well. Like, for instance, this last week, I just demoed Remote Incident Manager and how you can use it on your Mac to control somebody else's Mac or Windows machine.
Yeah, and I have a question for you. Why did you say connecting our phones? What, does our Mac suddenly not work anymore with using the phone as an internet?
So if you've ever done a speed test when connecting your phone to the Mac, it is very slow. Like if you compare it to the speed test when you do the connecting. So like if you do a speed test on your phone, you're going to get like 5G speeds that are going to be like 100 megabytes or something like that.
Right.
When you do a speed test on your Mac that's tethered to your phone, it reads as like 0.5 or something obnoxiously slow. And it is obnoxiously slow.
But then how can we use it for streaming and it works?
It works. I don't know how it works. It just does.
No, this is straight.
Hold on. I'm not. Oh. Let me finish. Anyway, so we do have, there's bandwidth, but it's something to do with the way it processes. And I recently read about a hack that you can do within Terminal that will actually lift the restriction that the Mac has in place to connect to your phone. That will give you better speeds. And, it's a safety protocol they put in there for, because of, I think it has to do with the way the computers use data. Anyway, go ahead, Shree.
Are you using your phone as a hotspot or are you tethering it?
That's the same thing.
Usually tether is like a wire connection, isn't it?
No. When you're using your home phone as a hotspot for either Wi-Fi or a wired, that is tethering. And that's when you're using your phone as a data thing.
And just for everyone's edification, how would we make sure that if they wanted to do that on their Mac and if their cell phone supported it, I shouldn't say cell phone, that's whatever, mobile plan, whatever supported it, how would they go about setting that up?
Very simple, actually. It's going to show up on your Wi-Fi as what you're going to do is turn the Wi-Fi off on your phone. If you are using if you're using the cord, which I like because then it doesn't use your battery, really, or you can, but otherwise it's going to show up under Wi-Fi. So what I would do is go to Wi-Fi under the menu extras, or you can do it in the control center. And you go to Wi-Fi, VO space on that. And if you're in the menu extras, or command VO space if you're in the control center. Go to your list of connections, and one thing you're going to see is like your iPhone and however you have it labeled. So mine is labeled Herbie's iPhone, so that's what I see in my Wi-Fi thing. And then I just connect to it, and it will pair with the phone. Sometimes it helps to have the screen unlocked on the phone, and you're good to go.
All right, very good. Well, that was our little Mac demo. No,
a quick Mac tip.
Quick Mac tip. There you go.
Oh, and this is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
One other thing you do need to know about that, if you're connected to Ethernet, you will need to unplug your Ethernet cord because it's going to get confused as to where to connect to.
All right. That's right. All those little things you have to used to do to scramble. I haven't had to do that in a long time. All right. Very good. Because normally
and yes,
Wi-Fi.
we have successfully connected Zoom and Clubhouse and ran a stream on media using mobile hotspot and using our phones, and it works. It does work. I shut down other processes like Dropbox and stuff, so there's less traffic going through. But so I try to keep it minimal, and I don't have mail running or anything like that. But it does work.
This is Shree.
In a pinch, yes.
Do you have to turn the Wi-Fi off on your mobile device?
It depends on your circumstances, because there are situations like, for instance, like right now, our Wi-Fi is still active, so that way when the net comes back up, then we don't have to just then it's already there. So like in our case, if I turned on Wi-Fi, I'd have no internet connection whatsoever. So it kind of does depend on your circumstances and all that. So yeah.
All right. Okay, so we've talked about a range of topics tonight. Are there any other questions?
Misty.
Yes, Misty.
I missed a lot on when the lady first came on and was talking about how to set up our software update. Could you repeat that, please?
All right, who wants to do that?
This is Shree.
Go ahead, Shree.
Are you running the latest version? Because she was running an older version.
Yeah.
I can tell you if you're running the current Sonoma, I can explain to you.
Yeah, are you?
I'm gonna say I'm really not sure because my husband had been setting it up for me and I wanted to learn how to do it myself.
Sure. I'm going to assume you have the latest and you're updating it. So you can just go to VOM, it brings up the menu, down arrow to system settings. Then you want to be in general. If it's in general, stop interacting, VO right arrow to get to the I guess it's called the scroll, or I forgot what the actual term is, but you can't be a right arrow anymore than interact with that. Or no, you just right arrow to, I believe it takes you straight to software update and do VO space on it.
Okay.
Did I say that right, Chanelle?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was talking to Herbie about something, but yeah, that sounds right. And Judy, when we left, you were made host. So if you're able to give it back to me, and I can try to explain that to you before the meeting is up. But yeah, that's basically how you go check for a software update. So give that a try, Misty, and good luck.
Okay.
All right.
Was there an update to the Mac this week?
Yes, there was actually. I have had to hold on installing the update because apparently with you update and you try to access Zoom, log into another account, and that account is is encrypted and you have to get a code, whatever, it doesn't remember your computer between updates, according to Brad. So I have not updated yet, but I believe it is 14.3 that is out. And has anyone else updated? Herbie has updated, but he is finding his unmute button.
Okay, so I have updated. So far, I've not really had any problems. If anything, the caps lock key does seem a little bit less fussy. The big thing for me has been with the app Tweezcake. It seems to fight with VoiceOver a little bit more when activating for the first time, so I have to turn off VoiceOver and turn it back on, but this has been an on again, off again problem.
Which app was that?
Tweezcake. And that's an app that lets you access the multitude of things like Mastodon, internet radio, Telegram, and yeah. But otherwise, it's been fine for me with the update. So,
what was the Zoom issue? Did that affect you?
No. But the ACB accounts are run differently than the Bits accounts too, anyway. So,
yeah. All right. So, all right. Has anyone else updated? And before we go into any other questions, Judy, I don't know if you're still listening, but if you can make me the host, or when the meeting is done, if you're able to, I don't know, are you using your Mac or your phone? If she's here.
What's Judy's last name?
It just says Judy P.
Okay.
Judy Potter in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Judy, you there?
All right. Well, why don't we continue the call, and I will text Sonia and Michael and have one of them sign in, just to make sure. So, Herbie, do you want to run things while I am trying to do some texting?
all right. So, who has our next question? Anybody new who has not spoken in a while or at all?
Well, I certainly don't meet that, but I have a question.
Well, nobody else is speaking up, so go ahead there, Pete.
And if it's no, go ahead. Somebody else wanted to jump in? Go ahead.
No, they were just laughing at
They
you,
were just
so it's all
laughing.
good.
Oh, okay. It was something funny. Herbie, or anybody, do you know how I can make my iPhone a video camera for a Zoom call? I don't need video obviously for iBug Zooms, but I had a teleconference, a medical virtual appointment with a doctor, and of course he wanted a video link, and I didn't want to do it on my phone because I actually wanted to record the audio using audio hijack. So I wanted to do it on my Mac, but I don't have a video camera in my monitor.
So
I
does
heard
anybody know
you could identify your iPhone as your camera.
Does anybody know the answer to this one? Ooh, I'm hearing crickets.
Yeah.
Well, the good news. Go ahead, Tree.
No, I just know it's a what is it? Continuity camera? Is that what that is?
Continuity camera. Yes, very good, Shree. Move to the top of the class.
Good job.
If this was our review session, you'd be getting an A right now, not an A, A minus.
I didn't say it right, so
that's right.
That's why it's the minus.
You got tongue tied on it. There's the minus.
It's the continuity camera, and if you set your phone out, so your iPhone Connect is both a microphone and a camera, and you set this up in system settings, and also if you plug in your phone for the first time to the computer, it'll ask if you want to set it up that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then in your whatever application you want, you just select the iPhone camera as your video camera source.
Right.
So in the case of Zoom, you go to settings and then the video option.
Video options, yeah.
Video option, and you select your iPhone camera.
Oh, cool.
And that's all you do.
Excellent. Thank you.
So,
and you will get a notification that you may get an alert on your phone saying Zoom wants to engage your camera or whatever.
Right.
And then in fact, I might be doing that on my thing at some point too. So
yeah.
Ooh, awesome.
Can you say that again, Herbie? I'm sorry.
So continuity camera, just make sure that's set up. Your phone's set up as a continuity device. I think that's in settings. And unfortunately, I'm not on the Mac right now to look up exactly where. But you can also Google, how to set up your phone as a continuity device. And if you can figure out how to spell continuity, of course, let alone say it.
Well, Sri can't even say it. I mean, yeah.
And then once it's set up, then whatever application you're wanting that supports whatever, so like an Amadeus, you might want to use it as a microphone, but in Zoom, you might want to use it as a camera. So like in Pete's case, you would go to your Zoom, you'd go to the video part of the settings.
I see. Okay. Got it.
And tell it to use your camera.
Yeah, name that
iPhone camera.
Yeah.
And it'll be labeled as like iPhone camera, something like that. So
now, initially when I did that, I would get this pop-up to connect to it all the time.
Yes.
And so that was kind of driving me nuts. So is there a way to prevent that from happening once you set it up? Or is it's happening because I didn't set it up?
You muted Herbie. Oh, and you lowered your hand. So I think he's saying I don't remember from what I hear from the other room.
Sorry, I lowered his hand.
Okay, it's our phones being weird, Zoom being weird here, guys. So am I unmuted now?
No, you can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, you're good.
So I think they have that built in as a safety feature. I don't think there is a way to get rid of that, but you can double check the actual settings. Also on the pop-up, there may be something that says, don't alert me every time or whatever, but I think they may do it as a safety thing too, just so you know that your device is being used. Because what if somebody was to hack into your computer and suddenly start using your phone as a camera? So I don't know if
weird things.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know why they'd want to see his Shri, but
Well,
no.
There's a lot to look at, so you're missing something.
Well.
Of course.
Of course. All right. Well, there you go. But yeah, so that's how you do that.
All right.
Misty again?
Yes, Misty. Go ahead.
When I was last on here, I was talking about my trying to mute and unmute my voiceover, and I'm still having trouble with that. So I haven't tried it, but I was wondering if I shut the computer completely down and then reopen it, do you think that'll get my voiceover to do what it's supposed to do?
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
Yes and no. I have had issues where I've lost audio for various reasons, and just a force restart of the computer brings it back. But sometimes because of my playing around with it, voiceover was in the off position and I had to turn it back on. So you still might have to Command F5. But that will now, if you which is yours, a laptop or a desktop?
It's a laptop.
So it's also possible you muted your speech with the trackpad, which would be a 3-finger double tap, and that would mute and unmute speech as well. So double check that as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Great question.
Michael?
Yeah, Michael.
Yeah, does anybody use the checklist feature on Notes?
Oh, good. I have not. Does anybody else? I know we've had some notes fans here. Anybody? Are you having any particular problems with it,
Well,
or?
I'm trying to figure out, so I know how to create a checklist, but like once I complete the task to check it off, so it should drop down to the bottom of the list, or you can have it deleted. I can do it on the iPhone pretty simply, but I just haven't figured out how to do it on the Mac.
Does VO Space not do it on the Mac? I wonder. Or like a double click, or I don't know.
I have to play around with it.
Yeah, because I would think, well, now I'm going to have to go create a list just to figure that out. So there you go.
Okay.
All right. I will try to do that at some point. Yeah, I don't do too much with the Notes app, but I would imagine it. I don't know why it wouldn't. VO Space at least, or
This is Shri.
Yeah, go ahead, Shri.
So I mean, I'm kind of thinking like what you're thinking, because once you create a list, you really can't do anything to it except say it's completed, right? Or delete it.
Right. I would think.
I see, because does VO spacebar mark it as completed or mark it as deleted?
I would think in market it'd check the box, whatever. So I would assume that would mark it complete, but I don't know.
Maybe just a space bar.
Yeah, that might work too, just the space bar.
And that's why I like reminders. The list is so much easier.
Yeah.
On the Mac?
Reminders, I tend to stick to my phone or my other device that we don't talk about here, begins with an L, or A, or whatever you want to call it, to do reminders.
As in lady?
Yeah. So I don't, that's how I tend to do my reminders. Sometimes I'll use, if I'm going to be out and about, I'll use the Do app on my iPhone. And then that'll keep like playing a sound until I mark it done. Cause I typically don't respond to just one little sound. I need it to play, and then I'll recognize, oh, it's a reminder. I need it to keep playing. Yeah, go ahead, Herbie.
So I guess where I would just see notes and reminders being different from each other. Like notes is great. Let's say if you're doing like a shopping list and you want to check off the items that you've purchased or put in your cart or whatever, that's where I'd probably be more inclined to use notes. But like with reminders, there's things that I need to get done, like open such and such room or host this event or whatever. And that's where I would use reminders if I don't use the other device.
Right.
Because it understands me better when I talk to it, and
And you haven't had any experience using notes on your Mac, Herbie?
I've just never liked. I just don't use notes on the Mac at all. I honestly have not.
Yeah.
Because if I want to write down something, I'm just going to use text edit.
Yeah, me too. And I think Shri wanted to say something.
But
I was just gonna say it's like the complete opposite of how Herbie was mentioning how I use my reminders. Like all the shopping list, I use it with reminders because I can share it. When I share it, like if my wife picks up something, it'll let me know she picked it up, or it works really well that way.
Well, that's definitely good to know. And if I'm in a multi-shopping environment, I will definitely keep that in mind. Around here, it doesn't quite.
When we go visit family, that might work great. Yeah.
Or if let's say, you say, okay, Herbie, pick up milk. He'll also get that reminder notification,
right?
Or vice versa.
It's called get in the Instacart or get in the Walmart app, and yeah.
This is Sandhya.
Yes, Sandhya.
Hi. It's a totally different topic, and it's kind of related to the Mac. And I'm wondering if y'all have seen this. I can't remember if I've already asked about this Zoom companion. Have y'all seen this?
Oh, that's just an annoying thing that Zoom wants to pop up and say, Zoom Companion can do this, blah, 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 blah.
Right. And we're getting people asking us to do it. So how do have y'all
Ooh.
disabled? Yeah, so I couldn't find it. I mean, it's on them. I was trying to do it on my Mac and looking in the Zoom settings, and I can't figure out where that is because it says, well, you can disable this, but I don't know where.
I think there's a separate set category in settings called Companion. If not, you might have to go on the Zoom website.
Okay, yeah, because it's kind of like a pain because the minute people are asking and then it kind of disrupts what I'm seeing on my screen because it like takes over. So, okay.
Well, try looking in the Zoom settings and there might be, I go in there for what I need and there might actually be a session called Companion. If not, look under General or Advanced. Otherwise, go on the Zoom website.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right. We have about 4 minutes left. Do we have any burning questions before we have to call it a night? Thanks everyone for bearing with our internet gremlins, but we've still been able to keep going.
This is Sri.
Yes, Sri.
Kind of following up with what Sonia said, is Zoom Companion, is that the Zoom's version of their AI features, or is that something different?
I'm not sure. I think it's it's supposed to help people. Oh, go ahead, Sonia.
I think it's something to do with creating a transcript or something. It'll summarize and do all kinds of stuff. So
yeah, sounds right. Yeah,
like a verbatim transcript of everything that was said on a meeting,
or a summary. Like I've seen it say summary or like giving us. Yeah. I don't know if it's verbatim, but was somebody else going to say something?
No, I'm just saying, does it do it live while you're in a Zoom call?
I think so.
Wow.
I don't know much about it. I don't know much other than, I see this thing and it's kind of more annoying than helpful because, people don't really use it or, we don't have a need for it yet. So.
But what if Sonia is seeing it while during a call? Like she's actually seeing voiceover reading this information?
This is Sonia.
Go ahead.
It's people asking for that function to be enabled. So I can set it up so that they cannot even see that option. So people are getting on our call and saying, enable this Zoom Companion. So I need to figure out how to turn that so they cannot see that.
Then that would be the settings on the Zoom website then.
Okay, because I have looked in the Mac and I didn't find it.
Yeah, because those would only pertain to you, but the Zoom website is where you go to log into your account, and that's settings for everything under the sun, and then some. So remember when we were having to play with all those things in the beginning, and they've added way more. Added way more.
I know. So we need to do that again just for old time's sake.
Right.
Yeah, right. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Well,
we're about to the end.
Yes, we are. All right. Well, come back in February. We will be, I believe our meeting date then is the 27th. Definitely come to some of our fun iBug events like our It's iBug's Life on Thursday from 7 to 9, all about vegetable soup. On Friday, it's iBug Night at the Virtual Movies with the title that I butchered, which somebody can say what it is again.
Movables.
Okay.
No, this is it's the holdovers.
The holdovers.
I was close. Okay, I was close. All right.
Well, I'm the one who said movable, so I completely butchered it. Sorry.
Okay.
Are you thinking of Ernest Hemingway there?
Yeah, the immovable feast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, between the two of us, we got some of the syllables. All right. There's that, and then there's iBug Show and Tell on the 25th. No, that's Thursday. 27th. 27th. Yeah. So come for that, and that'll be a lot of fun. Hear people talk about their tech toys and stay tuned for the announcements of everything else. So, yeah, well, thanks for coming tonight, and we'll
Good
see
job
you
tonight.
back
Well
again
done.
next month. Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. All right.
See you guys.
Bye.